can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line.
Is Rachel Zegler really done with acting for good? Well, it seems like it. After months of non-stop controversy, fan backlash, and an underwhelming box office performance, the Snow White star appears to have reached her breaking point. But the real question is the actress quitting because she wants tour because she has no other choice? Between her political rants, on-set drama, and rumors of being iced out by Disney and her own co-stars, it's hard to say. However, one thing is for sure, Rachel's Hollywood future is looking bleak. And now, fans are saying she's got no one to blame but herself. So, what really happened behind the scenes? And is this the final chapter in Rachel's career or just the beginning of a major downfall? Let's find out. Rachel's career is on thin ice. Her recent actions have landed her in a world of trouble with Disney. In fact, according to a movie insider, things got pretty chaotic. The source revealed, Disney's lead actress is out of control. They don't know what to do. She's an outspoken 20-something, and Disney chiefs have called her directly and asked her to tone down her posts. They've contacted her management, but she won't listen. It's been this way throughout filming. But it's the tying of her politics to Snow White that's upsetting. On the other hand, there have been no such reports about her co-star Gal Gadot, who has been very vocal in supporting her country. After that scathing report, many fans believed Rachel had been fired by Disney. In fact, some even think she might have quit altogether. And honestly, that makes sense. Considering all the controversies Rachel has stirred up, it's hard to imagine directors lining up to cast her. And if you think that's a stretch, take a seat because fans believe Rachel has no one to blame but herself. She's messed up time and time again, and her mistakes may have cost her a multi-million-dollar project.
On the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny
But what exactly did she do? Well, there seems to be a general attitude problem. Fans have called her out for trying too hard to be a boss woman.
There are 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess. I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is.
And then there was the post-election mess. The actress wasn't too happy about Trump winning the election, and she made the mistake of sharing her unfiltered thoughts online. Rachel uploaded an Instagram story saying, "I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke in fear this morning. And I am here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us in forging a new path forward. This loss should not have been, and it certainly should, not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than anything. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." She did apologize for her comments later, saying, "I let my emotions get the best of me. Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding, and I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse." But, as expected, the backlash was massive.
And we had Rachel Zegler on the docket is she's an asshole. So she came out and took a large dump on half of the country. Everyone who...
One person wrote, "Not taking my kids to see this trash after the statement you put out. Disney, you need to do something about this." Meanwhile, another added, "Rachel Zegler is unhinged and a liability to Disney. They should permanently shelf Snow White and distance themselves from her. Her involvement with the company alienated millions of people and poisons the brand overall. The board has a fiduciary responsibility to step in." Safe to say, it was not a good look. And according to some insiders, Disney was this close to sacking Rachel. A source claimed, "They would love to be able to tell her to stop talking, but it's simply too late. They had talked about removing Rachel from the role several times when it was shooting in 2022. She's a loose cannon and caused issues during production because she didn't agree with how the film plot strayed from the classic movie." Yep, Rachel apparently had a problem with the original Snow White. Back in 2022, Zegler told Extra TV, Prince Charming is a guy who literally stalks her. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with the guy who literally stalks her. Weird. She also told Variety, I just mean that it's no longer 1937. We absolutely wrote a Snow White where she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's going to be dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign.
And the higher-ups at Disney, they believe that if Rachel had so many problems, she could have simply stayed away from the franchise. According to The Insider, she read the script. If she didn't like it, then she shouldn't have taken the role. It wasn't until after the film was wrapped that she really started creating drama. The source added, she's been a nightmare, but there's nothing they can do to control what she says. Everyone is well aware of how difficult she is. And let's not forget, bashing the original is a big no-no, especially for people who grew up loving the classic. When you insult a beloved Disney princess, you're not just rewriting a story, you're alienating an entire generation of fans.
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because we cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's
So why didn't Disney just axe her early on? Well, studio bosses were still hoping that Ziegler's outbursts could work in their favor. One insider explained, right now it is way too late to shelf the film. As much as people think her recent comments and controversies will hurt it, that's not likely the case. If anything, it generates more publicity and attention, which leads to increased ticket sales. The film is Snow White. It could really sell with anyone in the lead. However, looking back, Disney's higher-ups are regretting their decision big time. And it wasn't just Rachel's political commentary that had them on edge. She reportedly wasn't getting along with the cast either. When the movie hit theaters, fans were quick to notice something odd. Rachel shared a tribute on Instagram with behind-the-scenes photos, writing, "This movie was a life-changing experience that has held about 4 years of my career. The growing up you do from the age of 20 when I was cast to 23, the age I am now, cannot be accurately described. Yet they exist here on film forever. Earned hard lessons, did hard things, laughed, cried, turned 21, lived across the ocean from my family, made new friends, and completely fell in love with this group of people I got to work with for 3 magical summers in London. We had the greatest crew in the world on this movie. It cannot be overstated." This photo dump doesn't even dig into the fun, the magic, and the love that was shared throughout this process. But fans noticed one glaring omission. Her co-star, Gal Gadot, was nowhere to be seen in the tribute. A lot of people took that as a subtle dig, and it turns out they might have been right. According to insiders, things were frosty behind the scenes. One source said, "She was fine with Rachel, but they are not friends. They did a job together, and that's it." Apparently, things were tense enough that Disney decided to keep the two women separated during the film's promotional run. They rarely appeared together until the premiere at El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And fans picked up on the awkwardness immediately. No eye contact, awkward spacing, forced smiles. One fan wrote, "Those are some bad, fake, forced smiles, none of them are reaching their eyes." Another commented, "Guarantee the smiles dropped as soon as the picture was over." The two were photographed alongside producer Mark Platt, and fans didn't hold back. He's holding them back like two wild beasts trying to kill each other. And get this, Gal isn't the only one with beef. Rachel also alienated a huge chunk of the fan base when she suggested axing Prince Charming altogether. Fans thought Rachel was way out of her depth talking like that. In fact, many felt it would have rubbed her co-star Andrew Burnap the wrong way. One fan put it bluntly, "The hell are you to say all of Andrew's scenes could get cut? Like who? Are you? Are you Disney?" And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, that's a huge red flag for potential employers. At one point, Disney posted a clip of Rachel singing "Waiting on a Wish" on Instagram, captioned, check out a sneak peek of Rachel Zegler performing Waiting on a Wish in front of Alcazar of Segovia Castle in Spain, the same castle that inspired the 1937 animated film. But not everyone was impressed. One fan commented, "No thanks, Disney. Was it so difficult to cast a soprano?" Now, most actors would just ignore the hate. But Rachel, she did the exact opposite. She clapped back. "I am a soprano. West Side Story is now streaming on Disney+." And she didn't stop there. She also gushed about the performance on Instagram, writing, "What an amazing couple of days. From performing Waiting on a Wish in front of Alcazar de Segovia to reuniting with our fearless director Mark Webb and meeting all of the loveliest little princesses and knights, I am overflowing with love and paella." Sure, the comment may have come from a troll, but the way Rachel responded made her seem petty in the eyes of many fans. And honestly, that's a long list of missteps. If anyone in Hollywood is thinking about hiring Rachel in the future, they're probably also looking at the box office numbers for Snow White. And the truth is, it took a hit. The live-action remake opened far below projections the weekend of March 21st to 23rd, earning just $42.2 million domestically against a reported $270 million production budget before marketing costs. Still, not all doors are closed just yet. According to Variety, Rachel has been cast as Argentine political icon Eva Perón in London's West End production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Evita. But fans quickly pointed out it's not a movie, it's a stage musical. So maybe there's some truth to the rumors after all. Zegler's IMDb and even her IMDb Pro page, which is used by industry professionals, currently show no roles in pre-production, production, post-production, or even development. In short, Rachel's film and TV slate is completely empty. At the end of the day, Rachel is in a hot mess, and it looks like she's got no one to blame but herself. But what do you think? Is Rachel's career really over, or can she bounce back? From this, let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to check out this next video.